I'm here with Skyraider Bob, and you just flew in this beautiful plane behind it. Tell us about it.
I did. This is known as a Skyraider, and they gave me a name of Skyraider Bob. This is an AD-6, Douglas made, real near here, back in about 1957, I think it was, and it saw duty in Vietnam. It was one of 3 Skyraiders like this to come out of Vietnam. Wound up at the McDonnell Douglas Museum, and then that name changed to the Museum of Flying at Santa Monica. They offered it for sale about 7 years ago, and I lusted after it. And I went and bought it. I had to mortgage everything, but I did that. And it's just a wonderful airplane. It's one of a kind, the only one like it flying. Now, what am I doing here? Being from San Diego, and I'm being from Rancho Bernardo, where we just had some big devastation. My house is standing, my backyard is toast a little bit, and 3 houses behind me are dust. So we've had everybody in my area has had a real hard time with this. But we decided for Cindy, we'd go out last night and get these airplanes ready. My daughter's flying the T-28, and all my friends are here, and they've just encouraged me to go ahead and come because it's just Cindy, the museum, head of the museum here, she's a good friend, and she just loves us, and she always does something like this Skyraider Bob Rocks thing. I don't know what she's talking about, but it's a lot of fun, and I love her for it.
Oh, I'm so glad you're here.
Yeah, thank you. This paint job that you see on this airplane, this B and so forth, was from a squadron, an attack squadron that the Air Force, when the Air Force was using this airplane. And then before that, the Navy used it, and the Navy shot down a couple of MiGs with this thing, and that was their squadron emblem. It was VA-76. And so for the movie, we were soldiers. They wanted this airplane in there, so they painted this on here for me, and they gave me the rockets and so forth, and they had two Skyraiders here. So that's how I got the paint job. It's a wonderful airplane. It's got a 3350 engine in it. You know, we've got 2 of the only flying Skyraiders around the system, and the only 2 on the in the Southern California area. Mine is a AD-6, and you'll notice the center section there underneath the belly. That was designed on this airplane. This is the first prop airplane to be fitted for a atomic bomb delivery. And that delivery was made on a pull-up, a low altitude with a pull-up, and they toss the bomb and go over backwards and hope that they can escape the blast before they shoot themselves down. But it's just a wonderful airplane. This airplane could stay on station for hours and hours and hours, and it can carry so many different types of ordnance that it was the favorite for the ground troops in the support area in the Vietnam War. Up until that time, it flew off of carriers, and that's what it was designed for. This is my daughter Dana. She flies the T-28. She flew in the camouflage T-28 right there. This is her.
My dad does rock. He taught me how to fly the T-28 about 6 years ago. We were at another air show, and he said, "Hey, Dana, wouldn't it be really cool if you learned to fly my T-28 and we could do this together as father and daughter?" And that started it. So these guys that we flew in with today, they've all helped me in learning my formation and everything, and my dad was a great teacher.
We're here with Rick Morrison, and you just flew in from where?
San Diego.
Okay, can you tell us a little bit about the plane behind us?
Yes, this is a Douglas Skyraider model AD-4, which is a little bit different than the one over here. It was made by the same company, Douglas Aircraft, right up here in El Segundo. Everyone's curious as to how it got its name, Naked Fanny, and what that actually means is in the Vietnam War, there was a base in Thailand called Nakhon Phanom, if I said that correctly. So all the American pilots nicknamed it Naked Fanny Base. So the previous owner of this airplane put that on there, and the little copper tone girl is a little mascot, and it just sort of stuck. And when I bought the airplane a couple years ago, I just left it on there. But it's just a great big old prop plane. It was used for air-to-ground attack. It could carry a lot of stuff. It wasn't a really fast airplane, but it could carry a lot of bombs and rockets and all that kind of stuff.
How'd you happen to buy the plane, Rick?
Well, I had always been interested in these things, and I'd been looking around for 5 or 6 years to try to acquire one, and there was none available to be bought. There's only about 15 of them left that are flyable throughout the world, and most of the people that own them are very reluctant to get rid of them. So I finally located this one over in Long Island, New York. It was owned by a Dr. Sloss, who was a surgeon over there, and he had owned it about 10 years, and then for one reasons unknown to me, decided to sell it. So his loss was my gain, I guess. So I found out about it and went over to Long Island, New York, took a look at it, and bought the airplane.